So I'm sitting here with the man himself, Mr. Billy Walsh. Billy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. So, how'd you get your start in the industry? Let's start there.
Well, let's see. Kind of everything I've ever done was somehow connected to music.
Mm.
You know, I mean, from high school to today. I was a guitar player, and girlfriend I was going out with, she wanted to be a dental assistant, and she went into the United States Army to be a dental assistant. Well, I was going to follow her in, and went into a recruiter one day, and he was asking what I wanted to do, and I said, I'm interested in electronics.
Mm-hmm.
I play guitar and constantly blowing my amplifier. And I wanted to learn how to fix the thing. You know?
Okay.
It's getting a little expensive.
Right.
So he asked me, he goes out of the blue, he goes, so you play guitar? He says, you want to be the guitar player in the West Point Jazz Band? Out of the blue. And I was like, well, I know the job of a recruiter is to sell.
Yes.
So, you know, so I was
make it all
very
fancy
cautious.
for you.
Absolutely. And I was just being very cautious. And he said, no, he says, I'll call him up. We'll get an audition. And that afternoon, we went out to West Point. I auditioned on guitar. I got accepted to the band. And played guitar on the West Point Jazz Band for the next 12 years. I was a sergeant in the Army. Ended up a staff sergeant after 12 years. And but after 12, I couldn't hang anymore. There were a lot of things going on with the Army, a lot of cutbacks. We were losing gear, and it was I had had enough of it. Well, a friend of mine from across the river, who had the AV contract for IBM in Poughkeepsie, he was a fan of the band I was playing in, and he goes, "Hey, why don't you come work for me?" So this was in 1988, and I've been doing corporate audio ever since that day.
What? Since 1988, a friend just was like, "Hey, come work with me over on this corporate show."
Yeah.
Wow.
So I said, it's funny. I'm here doing an IBM
I know,
show.
right? That's what I'm saying. We're sitting here on an IBM show, and that was, you said 1988.
Yeah.
So that was what, 40 years ago?
Yeah.
98?
30 something.
Yeah, 39 years. Man.
Right? But it's not Poughkeepsie that we're in right
now. No, it's not. It's not. As we sit here and enjoy our view of New York Hotel, Excalibur, little pieces of the MGM, and sipping on a bottle of wine.
Not Poughkeepsie.
Not Poughkeepsie. Yeah. Speaking of, it's well, let's go back. Let's go back. Tell me about young Billy Walsh. Like young Billy Walsh before Army, recruiter, all that.
Wow, that's a good one, man. Catholic school. 7 years of Catholic school. Play guitar, always playing folk guitar.
How'd you get into the guitar? I mean,
my dad. It's all down to my dad. My dad was a drummer.
What was his name? What was his?
Billy Walsh.
Billy Walsh. So you're a junior.
I'm a junior.
Okay.
Yeah. And he played drums. He worked for Pfizer.
Okay.
He was in research at Pfizer in Groton, Connecticut. And he did that for 35 years. And every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday night, he played drums in a strip club in New London, Connecticut.
So you grew up in Connecticut?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm southeastern Connecticut. And when I was 7, he brought me, my sister, and my younger brother into a music store. And he said, pick something out, and you're going to take lessons on it.
Yeah.
And you're going to learn how to play it.
Yeah.
And there was a guy over in the corner playing this Gretsch duo guitar. And I was like, oh, yeah.
That was it for you.
I want that.
Yeah. Now you have siblings.
Yeah. I have an older sister, a younger brother.
Okay. And what'd they pick?
My brother was drums, and my sister picked piano.
Okay. So did you all have the full out band going, or
with us? No.
Okay.
But I do have a photo of my first gig, which is me and my dad playing. It was at one of my cousin's weddings or something like that. But
so young Billy picks up a guitar, starts playing, and that's kind of his thing. He feels it.
Oh yeah. And it was not long after that I started playing in bands. The Beatles. coming out, and everybody wanted to be the Beatles,
Yeah.
And I started playing in clubs. I was about 15.
Okay.
Started hitting the bars, playing in the bars with the bands. And,
Drinking at the bars at 15.
yeah, man. Yeah. Slow gin fizz was the choice.
Man, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man.
Man, so then we fast forward. So you're playing in high school. Were you involved in anything else? Were you involved in the engineering side at all, or is it just listening? They have in the ear.
It was just playing. I mean, high school. I played football, and I was in the jazz band.
Okay,
they call it a stage band.
Yeah,
in the high school stage band, and so that's where I learned to read charts. Read the big band charts, and which was funny because when I went to my audition at West Point,
yes,
they brought out charts.
So you were already prepared.
2 of them were the exact same charts that we had played in high school.
Okay,
and so it
so
really
that
helped out.
Yeah. You were prepared. That was that pre-production aspect. So you were there and able to execute the show.
Absolutely.
Nice. All right. So first day on the job, or one of the first days or first week on the job in corporate world during your show. Do you remember any of that? What was that?
Yeah. I was working with my mentor. My mentor was a very well-known sound guy named Pete Lewis. And Pete kind of took me under his wing and showed me what was going on. I guess he must have liked something that I did.
Yeah.
But he really gave me constant instruction and advice, and I hadn't even I had no idea what corporate was. I'd been coming right out of the band at West Point, and it's quite a change, and but he really showed me what was going on with the hierarchy and all the theater aspect of it, because it was always me on stage playing to an audience. Now it was me supporting what was on stage, and it was a whole
mind shift,
whole different deal.
Yeah.
And I think, and I know that it helps me out now, when we have talent and I can talk to them and they can hear certain things that I say that they know I'm a player, and not somebody that's telling them how they're supposed to be.
Right.
I kind of let them know that my job is to take their sound and get it to the audience instead of me tailoring to what I think their sound should be.
Yes.
So it's kind of a different.
So it's truly getting into the essence of them and what they are about.
Absolutely.
And helping to amplify or magnify that for the rest of the audience.
Because I don't have any preconceived notion as to what that band should sound like. Everyone is a whole new different thing.
Yeah.
So I like from instead of going on stage and saying, give me some kick drum, I like to say, just go up there and play for a little while. I got some things to do. Once you guys just play, get comfortable with the stage, comfortable with the sound, and then we'll add to that.
Yeah.
Instead of constructing something from the first brick,
Well, that's speaking on the musician side of you. Now, how do you deal with clients when they're up there and the different?
That's where I think the wise guy, wisecracking, always try to make it funny. That's always been my misdirection.
Okay.
To take pressure off or to, I don't know, sometimes it makes them feel at ease and sometimes it puts them way uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I just get really sarcastic and try to say it in a way that it's funny to disarm them and to just trying to get a rapport with them.
Yeah.
That sometimes it works, sometimes not so much.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know a lot of people listening have their own Billy Walsh story, of little sarcastic remarks or memories that just kind of stick in. And I wasn't there, but one that I've definitely heard was the Hawaii story, like right outside the curtain.
So
let's talk about that one.
Well, we're in Maui. First time I had been to Maui, and it wasn't much of a show, But for some reason, we were in this ballroom from 6 a.m. until 10 o'clock at night,
In
you know,
Maui.
in Maui.
Yeah.
And I mean, even the producer was like, "What are you people doing on headset?" You know, and the stage manager would actually be sitting there reading the newspaper while we were on headset, and we'd be like,
So you
"Hey,
all aren't rehearsing.
no, there was maybe a couple hours till the next presenter flight was
Yeah.
going to land, and
Okay.
something. But we had to be in the ballroom, we had to be on headset, and it was they couldn't get it. I didn't understand. And then I just looked at the stage man. I go, "Hey, you know what's outside? Freaking Hawaii." And he looked at me like, "What do you? What is that? What does that mean?" He had no concept of.
Yeah.
Look what we're missing.
Right.
You know.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, because that's the thing. We spend a lot of time in the ballroom. We do. We spend a lot of time like here. Here we're working 13-hour days, and I would come up to my room, and that would be the first time that I saw outside since I left the room. And I was like, "Oh, it's dark out."
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had no idea. I
Absolutely.
had no idea. But even in all of that, with missing certain aspects of life, how do you stay connected still? You know, like to your family and not miss out on things like that.
Just a lot of right now it's a lot of texting,
Yeah.
sending pictures,
Uh-huh.
a lot of that stuff. When I'm home, it's like very intensive, a lot of time together, a lot of meals together. I do a lot of
Yeah.
cooking. I invite
Oh,
them
you
over.
cook?
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. I like that. Nothing fancy, but
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
mass quantities of
Okay.
whatever it is.
Is that the old military style?
I guess, man. I guess.
I'm just cooking for a lot of people.
That's it. Oh man, that's funny. I never thought of it that way. This may be.
Yeah.
But I have them over the house for dinner, and it seems that a lot of times when I go home, everybody's like, "Hey, why don't you stop over?" Or "Let's go out to a restaurant and eat."
Mm-hmm.
And I want absolutely the opposite of that. I want to.
Mm.
I haven't been home, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to stay home, and I want to be home. I want to cook. I want to eat a home cooked meal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I make it easy for them. Come on over.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
feed you. Come on over and hang out.
So you don't mind the company.
Oh no,
You
no.
just want to be in your environment, home, and not have the prepared meal like we oftentimes do
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
road.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I definitely get that. Um, I want to jump back to, to work a little bit. What is it about this industry that keeps you going?
You know what? I've thought about this a lot, and I have come to absolutely no conclusion whatsoever. But it's got to be the people that I'm
Right.
working with.
Yeah.
It's got to be because it's can't be the client.
It
just can't be.
Right, because sometimes we don't even know what you're talking about. It's like
it can't be the boss.
Yeah.
And I just think it's the caliber of the people that I'm working with.
Mm-hmm.
That I mean, I still love traveling and walking into this room that's got nothing in it
Yes.
and turning it into a theater,
Yes.
and having this amazing thing happen from nothing. And then walking out the door and there's 4 chairs and a table left in it.
Right, right. After we clean up and put everything back. I like to use the analogy of Legos. Like you take a box of Legos, and that's that 53-foot trailer,
Yep.
and you just dump it into the room, and you divide the Legos by department. Like, okay, you go over here and work on that. You go over here and work on that, and we're going to take this over here and work on that. And we build our little piece, and then we put some of the pieces together. We keep building little pieces, and we keep building them together, and then we've got this beautiful set, or this beautiful erector set that people come in, they look at it, they enjoy it, they're a part of it. We create experience, and then we break all those Lego pieces back down.
That's it.
Put them in the box, and it goes away.
Never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah.
What happens?
Yeah.
In that,
But as you're talking about the people too, I love how we are all such a group of professionals and individuals that travel around the country, around the world, and we're respected and we do our job, but we're so different.
Oh
Like
yeah.
if you think about where you live, it's more so your neighborhood, and it's more so a similar demographic in some sort. But yet when we come together at work, it's just a mixture of so many different people from all over the place, and I enjoy it.
Yeah,
But
I love it the way it just the instant connection,
mhm,
you know, uh, a total focus on I need to make like go to the Legos. I need to make this structure here,
mhm,
and I need to make it quick. I need to make it right the first time,
mhm.
and then I need to make sure that the cable that connects from this block of Legos to that block
Right.
works, talks to it, and becomes part of this whole picture.
Yeah. Now, when that cable though isn't working right, how do you manage that? And even like in where it could be a stressful environment, how do you manage those moments?
Well, probably again start making jokes about it. Disarm,
Mhm, mhm,
disarm, and then move in and do just a proven uh, way of troubleshooting
mhm.
and make it work, or get a workaround.
Yeah,
One or the other.
yeah.
But it's got to go.
Now, that method, those type of methods and those type of mentality of diverting attention with the humor and then going in and attacking and stuff like that's a proven method that has worked for you. Um, a friend of ours, mutual friend of ours, Jonathan Clark, is in this business and
Love
doing
that
his
guy.
thing. Love that guy. Yep,
Love
another
that
tall
guy.
fellow. um, in this job, he kind of set things up for you is because you came in a couple of days later than us, but he understands you. He understands your methods, your system, and that's from learning and you teaching. How do you go about teaching people like that or encouraging people? Because it's about you seem to be a person. Well, not seem to be. I know from years of working with you that you're a person of character. You're a person that, well, you are a character.
I'm a character.
But
So was Daffy Duck.
yeah, so is Daffy Duck, and yeah, and Elmer Fudd, and but I definitely felt when I came into the industry that you were somebody that cared about the people that you work with and cared about. You see something in somebody, you encourage them, you help them to be better. How do you? What is your thought process on that? Because there are some people that want to hoard the information,
Hmm.
but there are others who are willing to share.
Right. Let's go back to Jonathan Clark just for a
Okay.
moment, because I have to say he didn't just set up my stuff for this
Mm-hmm.
show. I was busy on another show and I couldn't come in for the load in. When I walked into that room, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was like somebody had taken my measurements um, and custom made this cockpit for me to sit in that it was above and beyond anything that I expected anybody to do. He took the time and was thoughtful enough to think of more than just plugging this cable into that cable and getting
Yeah.
sing through it. I just got to say that
Yeah.
this was amazing.
Yeah.
But I like to take time to tell younger people what I've learned and experiences I've had, and I think it is absolutely directly connected to going back to Pete Lewis
Mm-hmm.
when I came into the business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was he never made me feel that I was bothering him.
Mm-hmm.
He never made it feel that it was an imposition for him to explain anything. Never talked down to me
Mm-hmm.
like you should know this kind of an attitude, and never ever was a hint of that. It was all out of just the passion of the business.
Yeah.
We just happen to love what we're doing,
Yeah.
and it's just so easy to share any information I have. Some of it is useful, you know.
A lot of it's useful, not just some of it. Don't minimize it. Oh man. So even with that and teaching and giving back, I know that you were full time, for a while, and you living in Orlando, but then you moved to upstate New York, not
Hmm.
far from West Point,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
Right up the river or
Yep.
down the river, up the
About
river.
15 minutes west of West Point.
West Point, west of West Point,
Yeah.
yeah, and part of that was to be closer to your family,
Absolutely.
yeah,
That was 100% of it.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
How many
100%.
kids do you have?
I have one daughter,
One daughter.
and she's got 4 of her own. So I've got 4 grandchildren.
Yeah, yeah. And I knew that was important to you. And um, so I know you give back to us on the road, but how much does it mean to you to be home and closer to them, to be able to give back to them?
It's almost indescribable.
Yeah.
Just recently I went home. It was for a couple of days, but it was the right couple of days. It's always a crapshoot when you're home.
Mhm.
You might be home when the school play is happening. You might be home when the championship ball game is going on. More times than not, you're not there when it happens. But there are ways to stay connected. A lot of the games are live streamed.
Oh, right, true.
There's a couple different programs where they have like avatars of the game going on where somebody's there uploading every play.
Yeah.
So I do that a lot. But just recently I went home and my oldest grandson, 15, started playing guitar about 6 months ago. And he was like, yeah, we're doing our winter recital
Yeah.
at a local bar in town. And there he was playing on stage, and it was like, kidding me. And I'm I'm trying to, take a video with my iPhone.
Audio guy doing video. I'm scared.
Well, yeah,
I'm scared.
You know how this ends up. So he starts to play a solo, and I'm like, what? I'm going to zoom in, and immediately shut off the camera and missed the solo. So yeah, it was a sound guy running that video with expected results.
Right. But the memory is still right here embedded.
Oh, the moment right up to where the camera shut off is awesome. Yeah.
Oh man. So your years of experience in this industry, what are a few words of wisdom that you can give to?
If you don't like what you're doing, get out. Because you're that angry guy. You're that angry guy in the ballroom that nobody wants to be around.
Yeah.
Just if it's something you love, I can't stop it. I'm 63 years old. And I still look forward to it. I like sitting down and doing the pre-production, doing the drawings,
Yeah.
I still love it, and I still can't figure out why.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. It's that little boy still playing with those Legos.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah. So drawings. Before we go, drawings. How long did it take you to understand that aspect of it?
A long time.
Yeah.
The Vectorworks, AutoCAD, all that stuff, and how to use it, how to read it, and how to get the information that you need to get into it. Took me a long time. I'm not that computer literate. So all of the processes of even something as simple as drag and drop. I will select a speaker array and bring it over and set it down, and there'll be 2/3 of the array that makes it over.
So the other part is over there. It's like, no, it's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, but I don't even see that.
Right.
I think, okay, I'm done with that, and I move on to this, and then the rigger calls me up and he goes, "You really want those 2 speakers over
Those
there,
random 2
backstage, hanging at 20 feet?" Nah.
Well, that goes to show though that collaborative effort that it takes. The rigger sees the little thing that little mishap.
Yeah.
But he's gonna be there to support you, to help you, and that's what we are. Like that. It's like that family.
That's
Those people
right.
to come back and help you out and be there to support you. And
yeah. The newer technical stuff really throws me. For me, a digital console is a new thing. I'm the guy that you want to adjust the trim of a certain channel, you reach for that channel and you just turn the knob.
Yeah.
Now you have to select the channel you want, because there's only one control center for every channel, and that throws me. I get frustrated a lot. But then again, it's still fun learning it.
Right.
I go kicking and screaming. I'm still I've got a very large CD collection. I don't know when the last time I played a CD was.
Right.
I mean, hold on to that stuff.
Well, speaking of boards and CDs, I saw a picture of you mastering an album. It was on your Facebook page. It was like this. You were sitting in front of a huge board.
Oh, that's my basement.
Okay.
That's my basement, and I think my my nephew put that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had done some stuff,
Yeah.
and we were using the studio. But yeah, I love that basement. My family has a lot of fun down there. Yeah, there's some pretty intense karaoke sessions that go on.
There's some instruments down there. I saw that.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. It is the equivalent of my man cave. It's this business that I'm in is kind of a means to that end. I would love to end up someday just making a nice living from my basement.
Yeah.
Producing stuff and playing stuff. I write some stuff.
Okay, you write as well.
Nice.
Do you ever play any of your or have you ever performed or played any of the stuff that you've written at your crew parties, the crew parties that happen from time to time?
I have indeed.
Yeah?
I have indeed.
Yeah?
I played a original song that I wrote. Of course, original. I wrote it. Yeah, it was. It's a song that the title of it is "No Matter How Much I Make, I'm Still Working for Less."
was there a pun there? Was it?
Some people read into it.
Oh man!
But I've played that live at crew parties.
Yeah.
But I've heard two of my songs while in an airplane flying at 30,000 feet. I had sold a couple of instrumentals that I did to the Weather Channel.
What?
And they would play it. Now Weather on the 8s. And there would be some instrumental behind that. And two of the songs that I wrote, they put on a playlist, and I would get $2.40 every time they would play it. And they played one song over 1,600 times.
Wow!
and another one somewhere over 900 times. So I actually got checks from BMI.
Yes.
For stuff that I wrote, and that was a pretty good feeling.
Yeah. Well, and you'll continue to get those checks as long as they play, right?
They don't anymore. Now they went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what they did a couple years ago, they went and had a guy write a bunch of stuff around a single theme. There's maybe 10 different versions of the same thing, and they just rotate that in and out. So it's kind of a one-time buyout, so they don't have to.
Right.
It's license free, or they own it. They own the rights to it. So
Okay.
they don't have to deal with the BMI ASCAP stuff anymore.
Right.
But that was cool. Let me tell you.
I bet. I mean, because that's just another way of leaving a mark. I will say that you definitely are continuing to leave a mark on this industry. So
some people say it's a stain.
I'm going to disagree with those people. I'm going to disagree. So, to close it out, I just want to say, thank you for being you, and thank you for bringing that positive energy to the ballroom. Everybody knows when Billy Walsh is in the room. So
thanks, Clem.
It's been a great time, man. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for what you guys are doing here. This is pretty neat. I love listening to the interviews.
Yeah.
It's a really cool thing, man.
Thanks, man. We're having fun doing it. We're just bringing more of the voice of the people who do the work to life. We're a lot of the times behind the scenes. Why not bring us up front and center?
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.